Welcome to Specific, one of the 8 magic keys presented by the RAP team. Do your students often look like this, like you've got cauliflower growing out of your ears? It could be that you actually do have cauliflower growing out of your ears, but chances are they're just not picking up what you're laying down. Oops, there I go, not being clear. The English language is full of sayings, cliches, idioms, generalizations, euphemisms, slang, cultural referencing, general knowledge, assumptions, words with multiple meanings, meanings with multiple words for it, sarcasm, plays on words, and verbal plethora of discombobulating means to definitely shed our wisdom, inquisitions, and explanations to another. Wow. If you're confused by what I just said, I know I am. Can you imagine what someone with an FASD who struggles daily with communication, understanding, and being understood might feel? The 6th key in the 8 magic keys is to be specific. Sounds easy, doesn't it? It's much harder than one might anticipate. There must be some reason why the English language has so many colorful ways to say something simple. For example, here are the few of the most common sayings we use. Break the ice. Cat got your tongue? Let your hair down. Can't make heads or tails of it. It's raining cats and dogs. Cold shoulder. Red-handed. A stitch in time. Shake it off. Let it go. And so on and so on. A person may not even realize how often they use these instead of saying exactly what they mean. They are just that ingrained in our speech. It's a lack of clarity that creates chaos and frustration. Those emotions are poison to any living goal. Being present and monitoring the reactions of your students to what you're saying is a great start toward what level of specific you need to be for that particular student. Remember, no one with an FASD has exactly the same needs, so how specific you need to be depends on the student. Students with an FASD are often developmentally younger than they appear, at times up to half their chronological age. An 11-year-old could very well comprehend at a 5.5-year-old level. A terrific way to find out where the child is at developmentally is through people who already have established relationships with them, such as family and friends, past teachers, and other people who have worked with them previously. It will take practice to speak plainly when addressing to students who need it, particularly if you're working with the higher grade levels. But by avoiding many of the English language poetic pitfalls, you will help the student to understand you and your expectations of him or her, thus getting the results you want and then learning the learning they need. It's a win-win for everyone. General knowledge and logical sequencing are not usually strong points for students with FASD. When asking them to blow up balloons, you may wind up with a room of pop balloons because you said blow them up. You failed to explain to him or her that you need to blow them up to this size, providing a visual example. Tie it at the end, like this. Example again. Then place them in this bag, not on the floor where they could get punctured. Those with FASD have trouble with filling in the blanks. Tell them everything they need to know. In order to fit in, a student with FASD may say they understand even if they don't. Get confirmation of comprehension by asking them to repeat instructions in their own words, or have them show you they understand in a way that they are most comfortable communicating. Working memory is the mental workspace or notepad we use to keep information in mind. Students with FASD often have challenges in this area and have great difficulty when more than one thing is told to them at a time. Breaking things down into their simplest forms and giving them the steps one at a time will go a long way to getting the results you want and the learning they need. Students with FASD have trouble with multiple directives. Tell them step by step what to do. Minimize materials in a lesson so as not to overwhelm. Separate a test assignment into portions and have them finish one part before giving them the next. Task and chore completion. Oppositional, uncooperative, lazy, unmotivated, and attention-seeking behaviors. Students with an FASD may exhibit some or all of these out of confusion and frustration. Taking away some of the problem through being specific can help them to feel better about themselves and in turn achieve more. Remember how great it felt when you finally understood something you were struggling with that everyone else seems to get but you. Figuring out what to do next. It is very empowering when you know the next step and you can do it without having to ask the teacher or to repeat it, or get into trouble for just sitting there when everyone else around you is practically done. Hygiene. There's a big difference between get ready for school and having a step-by-step routine which includes dressing, brushing teeth, washing face, and combing hair. A lack of hygiene is often due to lack of specifics and help from an executive brain to remind a person with FASD. Lies, confabulation, storytelling. A person with FASD may lie out of confusion or trying to fill in the blanks, which we know is not a strong point, or to hide the fact they just don't understand. Eliminating the need for this will strengthen your relationship with them. Self-esteem. And whose self-esteem wouldn't improve when they understand what you want from them, accomplish more tasks and get better grades, fit in with peers, and feel understood and successful? I will leave you with this quote from John Ruskin. To be able to ask a question clearly is 2/3 of the way to getting it answered. You're being specific is one of the magic keys to helping your student with the FASD up the ladder of success.